I gotta pee.
You're gonna have to hold it.
I'm telling you, I gotta go bad.
From being one of the best family dramas ever cast on television,
Where's the internet been all my life?
to being involved in abusive behavior and exploitation.
A star of A&E's popular reality series Duck Dynasty has been indefinitely suspended from the show after he made controversial remarks about gay and black people in a magazine interview.
In 2012, we were introduced to a family unlike any other. A group of bearded, duck-hunting, Jesus-loving Southern folks running their own company, Duck Commander, and living life on their terms. The promise was simple. No fluff, no fakeness, just raw family values and down-to-earth fun. It felt different, right? This wasn't American Idol with its manufactured pop star dreams. This was a show about family, tradition, and the humble rise of a business built on duck calls. But reality TV's got a way of pulling the rug out from under you, because as Duck Dynasty grew in popularity, those cracks started to show. Let's begin with the biggest stain on the show's reputation, Phil Robertson. In 2014, just as the show was hitting its peak, Phil made comments in a GQ interview that would change everything.
Duck Dynasty star Phil Robertson got in trouble last week for talking about vagina and anus. Told GQ magazine, "It seems like to me a vagina as a man would be more desirable than a man's anus."
He equated homosexuality to bestiality, sparking immediate outrage. Yeah, this guy was a nasty piece of trash and made some pretty nasty racial claims, saying that black people were happier before the civil rights movement. The backlash, as you can imagine, was swift and severe, as it should be. Fans were criticizing him and being mad at him for his remarks. It got a lot of attention on the net and directly impacted their popularity so negatively that A&E, the network behind Duck Dynasty, suspended him from the show temporarily.
A&E suspended Robertson after the article came out, saying, quote, "His personal views in no way reflect those of A&E networks, who've always been strong supporters and champions of the LGBT community. The network has placed Phil under hiatus from filming indefinitely."
Only to bring him back shortly after due to public pressure, but that's not all. Phil is so extremist that he even spread hate speech about atheists by making up a false rape story. This sparked really harsh criticism from the atheist community, and they fired back at him as well. What this controversy revealed wasn't just Phil's personal views, it revealed the underlying problem with Duck Dynasty itself. The show marketed itself as a beacon of traditional family values, yet here was its patriarch making statements that alienated a ton of its audience. Instead of apologizing or learning from the situation, A&E chose to keep Phil on the show. This reinforced the idea that controversy was good for business. Now, this moment set the tone for everything else that followed, where the lines between authenticity, entertainment, and profit became blurred beyond recognition. But the scandals didn't stop there. The next one's even spicier. But before we move on, take a moment and subscribe to the channel for more documentary insights like this one. Okay, so back in 2020, another bombshell rocked the Robertson family. It was revealed that Phil had fathered a daughter, Phyllis, during an affair in the 1970s. Not only that, but Phil Robertson's been accused of marrying his partner when she was only 13. Yeah, that was true. As this thing went viral, fans were immediately shocked.
And called my mom and said, "So who's my dad?" And she said, "Well, Phil." And she said, "Well, he's the one that made those duck whistles."
But what if I told you the Duck Dynasty was never about the Robertsons at all? Yeah, it's true. From the beginning, it was about the brand. The family's image was carefully curated for mass consumption, turning their simple life into a multi-million-dollar empire. Everything was designed to make the Robertsons appear as the ultimate example of American family values, complete with the perfect mix of humor, faith, and hard work. But behind that image was a reality that didn't quite align. Critics have long pointed out that their success wasn't just about being great at duck hunting, it was about being great at creating an image. And it became clear that the show wasn't about authenticity. It became harder to ignore the corporate machinery behind it all. Okay, so what about the fans? Weren't they just watching to enjoy the families, fun dynamic. Unfortunately, the reality was far less innocent. The success of Duck Dynasty wasn't just about the Robertsons being themselves, it was about the producers creating a spectacle. Sure, the family was at the center, but the real stars of the show were the coaches, the network, and the advertisers behind the scenes pulling the strings to keep everybody hooked. They were used as pawns in a larger game, where their every move was calculated for maximum entertainment value. The heartbreaking moments were scripted. The family drama was exaggerated and the brand was the real star. It really wasn't about their genuine life anymore. It was about making money. And the worst part, fans bought into it. In an attempt to revive the show's waning popularity, the production team attempted to shake things up. They tried bringing in fresh angles, new storylines, and more exciting dynamics between the family members.
I'm the CEO of the company, and even I don't want to be here.
They even tried incorporating more real moments, dealing with topics like aging, faith, and personal growth, things that were previously glossed over in favor of contrived drama. The attempts to reignite the show's magic only backfired. Rather than fixing the underlying problems, they only made them worse. The new narratives felt forced, and the fabricated drama became even more transparent. What was meant to be a more honest and relatable approach ended up looking like a desperate bid for relevance. The producers, trying to salvage the sinking ship, unintentionally exposed how much the show was based on artificial content and manipulation. Fans could see right through it, and the show quickly lost its appeal. And that was enough. The audience turned their backs. Once the magic was gone, there was no coming back. The production team may have tried to fight for their place in viewers' hearts, but all they succeeded in doing was confirming that the show had lost its soul. With the failed comeback, the exodus of fans became inevitable. The diehard supporters who had been watching since day one, they were gone. The drama, the controversies, the exploitation, it all became way too much for fans to stomach. What had once been a beloved guilty pleasure became parody of its former self. So, what's left of Duck Dynasty now? Can it ever return to what it once was, or is it forever tainted by scandal and exploitation? At this point, the Robertsons are just a footnote in the grand reality TV machine another family used to sell a product. The magic is gone, and what's left is a business trying to milk the last drops of interest from a fading empire. The show may have had its moment, but now it's clear it was never about family values. It was about selling a lifestyle to the highest bidder. As for the Robertsons, they continue to exist in the public eye, but the gloss has faded. Is there any room for redemption? I don't know, maybe, but it seems pretty unlikely given how far gone the show's reputation has become. So what do you think? Is Duck Dynasty still worth revisiting? Or has it become just another manufactured reality show that capitalized on the public's desire for authenticity? Make sure you let us know your thoughts in the comments.